William Woody once said, no matter the good the team is or how efficient the methodology is, if we are not solving the problem, the project gets fails. With this word, I, CA Jyoti Sapra Madan, will help you in getting in more details about the quantitative techniques for managers. Our today's topic is assignment problem, and in assignment problem we have different table of content. The first content is the assignment, that is the objective of the assignment. The second is the main important formulation, how we formulate the assignment problem. The next we will discuss the mathematical presentation of the assignment problem. After presenting the mathematical presentation of the assignment, we will discuss about the constraints. What are the different constraints when we are solving the problem of assignments? The next point is the practical questions, as well as in today's scenario, we will discuss about the different case studies. And the last we will discuss about the unbalanced assignment problem. If there is an unbalanced assignment problem, how the question will get solved up, right? Coming up with the first table of content, that a concept. What is the basic concept of assignment, or what is exactly in assignment we use to solve it? The word itself indicates assignment. That means assigning your work to the right person so you get your project to be done in a well, effective and efficient manner, right? Coming up over here, the assignment problem is a special case of a linear programming. Yes, linear programming is one of the important concepts in the quantitative techniques for manager. In that we have the different topics, like the earlier session we have discussed about the transportation problem, and in today we were discussing one special part of linear programming, that is an assignment problem, right? With the allocation of resources to the number of activities plays a crucial role in the assignment. Yes, if you are assigning the right task to the right person, how effective and efficient the work will complete it, right? And the most important thing, the cost will come down and your profit will be maximized. And this is again one of the basic objective of the assignment, right? It plays a crucial role. Yes, it always plays a very crucial role in optimizing and operational research. In the assignment problem, we are focused more and more on the optimization. Optimization of resources should be there. In economics also, we heard this term, optimization of resources in effective and efficient manner. As the resources are very scarce, we have to use in effectively way, right? Coming up to the next point, the finding application in diverse field like the supply chain, management, project planning and manpower allocation. Yes, in assignment topic, we will discuss how these can be applied in the different technologies and in the different working environment. We can use the assignment problem in like supply chain technology, as well as we can use the assignment problem in appropriating the right person for the right task, right? Coming up to the next point, this is a basic introduction of assignment problem. Now I am coming up to the next part. Okay, coming up next point, that's an objective as we have discussed right now. What is the main objective is to determine the optimum solution, your basic purpose to determine the optimum assignment of resources to the activities and minimizing the total cost or time. Yes, in assignment we have given the question in the form of cost also, as well as in the form of a time also. But the main purpose is to decrease this cost as well as decrease the time as much as we can. The purpose of the manager is also the same, to do the right work in the right time. As we have just discussed in the form of a Woody Wilson, what he has explained us, that our projects gets fail if we are not using the right person for the right purpose, right, for the right task, because he or she will be more efficient in doing that work. Coming up to the next, hope this is clear. What's the main objective of doing this assignment problem? Next point is your next task for doing the assignment. Then we have the formulation, how the question formulated. Yes, we have used the matrix as earlier we have defined. We have to make a matrix, right? In the matrix, we have given, say example, I am just taking a simple example of a professor. We have different professors, right? We have the matrix of 3 by 3, say example, and we have 3 subjects, S1, S2 and S3. Now the professor is good. Say example, professor 1 is good in subject 1. but he or she can taught S2 as well as S3 also. But my main purpose is to allocate that professor the more efficient subject so that he can take that subject in a more effective way, as well as the time taking by that professor should be minimum. Right? Now the professor 1 will be given that subjects in which he or she is more efficient, as compared to the professor number 2 will be given the name another subject, and the professor number 3 will be given the next subject, as well as there is no overlapping. Like for example, the professor number 2 will not be given the subject number 1, as can be possible he or she can take the subject S1 as well as S2, but if he is efficient in this subject, the more task is for the manager is giving this professor should given this task so that he can do their work more effectively and efficiently, right? So over here also it is written, having a look on the lines which is given over here. Consider a scenario with the resources as M and the cost matrix with N, right? Again, I'm showing you one matrix over here. Please have a look. We have given different professor, right? P1, P2 and P3. This is the formulation matrix which I am showing you. And we have given the different subjects, right? What we have given, the professor 1 is using the subject 1, might it is given the time, like he was taking 3 hours for delivering their subject. He might be taking only 2 hours, might be taking as a 1 hour. What you will suggest, you will definitely select the professor 1 will get this subject 3 because he or she is taking only 1 hour, the minimum of these 3s, right? Considering the next scenario, for example, it was taking 4 hours, it was taking a 5 hours and it was taking a 6 hours. Then for the professor 2, you will definitely consider the subject 1 as it is taking only the minimum 4 hours. Considering with the professor number 3 as the same, we have given say example 6 for this, right? We have given 4 for this and given 7 for this. Considering the minimum of this is 4, that means professor 3 will be given the subject number 2. So this is how we have to select the scenarios. Thus we have to formulate the cost matrix, right? Normally what we have to give it can be in the form of a time also. If it is given in the form of a time, your main purpose is to minimize your time. Minimize the time as much as you can. And if it is given in the form of a cost, then again minimize your cost as much as you can. The purpose is to the profit. Yes, finally the boss wants the maximum profit. So as a quantitative manager, your main purpose is to minimize the cost or minimize the time as much as you can and assigning the right person for the right subject so that your work can be done effectively and you are getting the most beautiful results of your scenario, right? Coming up next, what's the next is given over here is formulation. Then we have a matrix. Yes, you have to make the matrix in a proper way, assign it proper way, calculate the per unit time as well as the cost for each professor for each subject or for each branch for each job, right? It can be in the both way. So if it is written, C can be the cost matrix, which I used to use the word as CIJ. Hope you are using the Excel and you know what is this I and J. If you are not knowing, then I am just showing you one figure so that it can be clear to you. Like for example, over here, I am making this matrix, right? Please ask me if you have any problem. If I am getting over here, writing over here is C, you all knows this is like rows and this is column. Then this task will be C11, right? This will be C12, right? And this is C13. That means you are changing the same column and the row is getting changed. Here it is say example J1, this is C1, right? So that means the cost for C1 and J1 will be C11, right? For C1 and it is written over to J2. For C1 to J2 the cost will become C12, right? And so on, and this goes on till nth number of times. Same example over here, if I am taking C2, right, then here will be C21, C22, C33 and so on. 21, 22, 23. Sorry, it is 23, right? If I am using C3, then it will be C31, 31. We use the cell. Hope you are knowing about the Excel using the cell one. Okay, the cell of the team. C32, C33, right? containing with this same, that's why it is written Cij, which represent the cost of assignment and resources to I to activity J. We were taking it as an I activity and we have given a J resources, right? Coming up further, we can use the word ma'am NM. Yeah, you can use A, B, whatever it is your mind that you have to work it. Some task is there and some resources is there. And you have to assign them, the word assign. You have to assign them in a proper way so that your result will be gets effectively, right? Coming up further, I am taking you in the next scenario, that's an objective. As we have all discussed up, the main objective is to get the cost as much as minimum as we can, right? To minimize your total cost. Minimize your total cost as much as you can. Ma'am, how we can come it? We will do the practical question and analyze it. Yes, it can be done up. But the point is that proper allocation should be there. Once you are allocating the work properly, your total cost will be minimum and your profit will be maximum. Right? You as a quantitative manager has to use your mind in an effective manner so that the resources can be utilized properly and your boss will get very happy for you that you have done your work in a proper allocation. Hope it's all been clear, the first functions which we have discussed up. Now coming up to the next point, constraint, rukavate. Yes, every time whenever we're doing anything, we always have some constraint, but we don't have to stop behind that. We have to work again and again and to remove that constraint. In the assignment problem, again, we have some constraint. What are that constraint? Each resources is assigned exactly one activity. Yes, the one professor should be given one subject. The one professor will be taking care of one subject and as he or she will be more effective and efficient in that working, right? Each activity is assigned to exactly one resources. That means every activity, same in the reverse way, the subject 1 will be taught by the professor 1. That in vice versa, that it should be exactly one activity to be done by one person so that he or she can do their work in a very effective manner. Right? This is the constraint that you are not using your resources effectively in two different ways. You have to be stick to your mind, use that resources in that particular work and so that you can use that cost will be minimum or the time taken for that subject will be minimum or for that activity will be minimum. Right? Hope it has been clear what are the constraints for that. Right? Coming up further, with the solution procedure, how this constraint will be solved up and how we can solve this constraint. For this constraint, problem can be solved using the various methods. Yes, we have different methods in the assignment problem. The first and the foremost method is the Hungarian algorithm. Please write down somewhere, take a pen and paper with you and write down, it's Hungaran, Hungarian method or algorithm. Algorithm. It's a very important method in assignment. In assignment problem, Hungarian method is basically used for solving the assignment problem, right? The second can be used the linear programming approach. We will definitely discuss this approach also, how this is linear programming method can be solved up and your assignment problem can be done properly, right? We were discussing this method only, Hungarian method we will discussing, right? Now coming up further, this solution can be done up. Now coming best one, what are the steps of solving? Yes, the one who is understanding. Ma'am, in transportation problem, again we were having the steps. See, in every methods and methodology, we have different steps and we have to follow that steps in a proper way. And remember, the step 1 should be followed on the step 1 process, step 2, step 3. If you interchange the step using the step 2 on the step number 1, then it will be a mistake. Like if you are going on the stairs, you should take one step for the stair, then for the second, then for the third. If you are exactly jumping to the third step, then you will be fall down or you have some knee injury also. Right? Now, take care of each and every steps properly. Then we will apply these steps in a practical approach. Coming up to the first step, step number 1, that is row reduction. Yes, you have to do the matrix in a proper way. Even the step number 1, before starting with the step number 1, one point is there, which I will discuss it, but the most important telling you before showing the PPT, yes, the first point before this is to check. What? You have to check whether your assignment problem is balanced or not balanced. Ma'am, if it is not balanced, then in the next point, we will discuss if it is not balanced, how we convert that unbalanced into balanced one. So the first step is, remember, you have to check whether your question is balanced or unbalanced. This you have to check. If it is not balanced, we will discuss up how we can solve it, but you have to check it, right? Now the first step is a row reduction, and in the row reduction, what you have to do? You have to select the minimum elements from each row. Remember, minimum element from each row, subtract that from the all rows, not all rows, from that individual row, right? Again repeating it, select the smallest element from that row, from one row, again from the next row, smallest element, next again row, and subtract from that row, right? One mistake students used to do in this question is, you just select the minimum from every rows, like from the whole matrix. No, you don't have to select the smallest element from the whole matrix. You have to select the minimum element from each row and then subtract it, right? It is written, subtract the minimum element from each row and every element in that row, right? And then ensure that at least 1 0 should be there in row. Again, I am repeating, select the smallest element from each row and subtract it from each row, right? Same with the second, same with the third row, till all the rows will be completed. This is your step number 1, right? Now I am coming to the step number 2, that is a column reduction. Step 2 is your column reduction. That means now in the column element, you have to select the smallest from each column and subtract from all the elements from that column. In the second column, select the least element and subtract it. Same with the next columns and columns, right? Remember, the first step is row reduction and second is your column reduction. Subtract the minimum elements from each column, from every element in that column, and there should be at least 1 0 in each column. Is it compulsory to have 1 0 in each column? Definitely. When you select that smallest element, the next element will definitely come up 0 and it will be subtracted, right? Now coming up to the third point. The first point is row reduction. The second is your column reduction. Now coming up with the third point, that assigns the zeros. You have to select the zeros, how much zeros has been done up. Here zeros means the proper alignment of topic to that candidate or to that task. Make the 0 in the resulting matrix. The minimum number of lines. Yes, now you have to allot the lines. How much lines can be possible for reducing all the zeros? Your main target is to minimum lines, and all zeros will be filled up. Minimum lines, all zeros get assigned, right? They mark the zeros in the resulting matrix with the minimum number of lines and all the zeros to be deducted, lays the groundwork of identifying the potential assignment. Once we do with this step of marking the lines, you will definitely get your answer in a proper corrected way. Your step number 4, that is repeat. Covering the columns and rows, you have to cover all the columns and rows in a proper way. Like cover all the columns and rows covering the zeros. If the number covered lines equals an optimum solution is there. That means you have to find out number of lines, and that means how much lines you have done up. If the number covered lines is equal to the n number is equals to n. Here n means the rows and the columns, then your optimum solution will be attained up. And ma'am, if it is not equal, means the lines are less as compared to the numbers, then definitely you have to give some adjustments. We will do in this session only how the adjustments will be done up, right? This is your step number 4. Now coming up to the next step, that's the step number 5, that is creating the additional zeros. Like I have discussed earlier in this session only, when if the lines are not equal to the number of terms, then how we have to make it? Find the smallest adjustments. That's, it is a part of an adjustment, right? What adjustment you have to done up? Find out the smallest element. You have to find out the smallest element. From where? From all the matrix? No. The smallest element from the uncovered cell. Uncovered element. Remember, uncovered element. The elements, the cell, the digits which are not covered under the line, you have to select them, and that is, remember, the smallest. The smallest one should be selected. What we have to do the next step? Once you select the smallest element from the uncovered element, subtract it from the uncovered element and add it to the one where there is an intersection of the lines. The two lines, like this way and this way, the line coming up from up to down, line coming from vertically, the one who is having an intersection point, you have to add on that intersection point, like in this way. It's an intersection point at the middle of the verb. At that point, you have to add this smallest point. Right? Hope it's been clear. This is an adjustment point. I will show this in the practical one also, right? Find the smallest uncovered element, subtract it from the uncovered element, only from the uncovered element, add it to the intersection. This is the point, intersection point. Covered lines creating more and more zeros. Why we are creating more zeros? To make the number of lines equals to the nth, right? Hope step number 5 is again been cleared up. We have done 5 steps. Now coming up further with the step number 6, adjustments covered lines. Modify the covered lines with the new lines. Now again you have become a new matrix. Now again you have to make a review new zeros and then find out the assignment possible or not. Will it be done now? It might be, or it may create another adjustment. So you have to find out whether now your number of lines which you have made after adjustments, that is after adjustment, is now equal to the number of lines. If it is yes, number of lines is number of matrix. If it is yes, then your final will be optimum. Then it will be an optimum solution. If it is not, then again you have to do more adjustments, right? Now again you have to do more adjustments. That is the next step, step number 7. You have to repeat your task until all the lines are built done up, and you have the possible optimum solution of all the subjects or all the tasks to be assigned or to the given one person, that is the one assigning problem. Repeat the step, that is again covering all the zeros, right, until optimum solution is obtained, and this interactive process refines your result. Yes, it will definitely refines your answer in a more optimum manner. That means by doing the adjustments, we will getting the more effective answer, right? Practice makes a man perfect. In the same way, if your adjustment is doing it, that means you are getting the answer in a proper manner, and your answer will be in the best optimum way, right? This is your step number 7. Hope it is fine and clear. Now we have the different topic, just having a small recap of all the steps one by one, because you have to do the practical. So your first step is row reduction, right? Is it clear? Now on the row reduction, select the smallest element and subtract from that row. Again select the smallest element from the second row, subtract it, right? Step number 2, that's a column reduction. After doing the column row reduction, when the matrix came up, find the smallest element from the column and subtract from that column, right? Step number 3, that is assign the zeros. Number of zeros should be assigned up, and the number of lines should be minimum, and number of zeros to be covered up, right? Coming up with the step number 4, number of rows and columns. How many rows and columns should be equal to your lines. If it is not done, now the step number next, that you have to make the adjustments. And how the adjustment has been done up? Select the smallest from the uncovered cell, subtract it from the uncovered cells, and add it to the intersecting point, right? Now the next step is repeat the process until all the adjustments has been done up and all the lines should be equal to your n number of matrix, right? till this done again and again, repeating the steps again and again, you will get the optimum solution once your lines are being covered and one task is given to the another person. Hope it is fine. Now we are coming to the next topic, that is application. Ma'am, how we use these assignment problems, or where we can use these assignments, how we use these work. The first point is the supply chain management. Yes, in the SCM word we are using this. The SCM manager has multiple tasks in their mind and multiple person who can do that. The person can be good in one task and the person can be good in the other task. The person should be aligned properly, aligned that this work is done by this candidate, this work is done by the different candidate. That means in the supply chain management, assignment problems can be used it in an effective way so that the right person will be allotted a right activity. In logistic department, assignment problems helps in the transportation problem. See in which area the person is more knowledgeable, more effortly they can do it, because if a task is done by the other person, might he or she can do that work, but not so smoothly, not so effectively. So you have to give your work to that person or to that department who is good in that working, right? So in the SCM management, we are using this task. For the second, where you can use this assignment method, that's the second point we can use in the project planning. Yes, who is more effortlessly can do that project. Say example of one person who is very good in the finance department, definitely the resources related to the financials, related to money will be given to that candidate. Like in aids for allocating the resources of the task like projects, ensuring that each task is assigned to that suitable resource person or the candidate so that it can be done in a proper way, right? Coming up to the next point, that the third point where we can use this task, that is a manpower allocation. Manpower, everyone is having so much power, effectively mind, efficiently they can use it, but the assignment should be done in a proper way. The person who is using less time, less efforts can be assigned in a proper manner. The assignment problems to be specific roles and projects and ensuring that the project will be done based on their skills and abilities of the time, right? Now coming up to the next, that's a machine scheduling. Which machine will be done on the process? Like first time will be given to that machine so that they can work more effectively. Same with that, assigning jobs to the machine in the factory. Yes, in the factories this assignment problem is given up because we have to scheduling the time of the machine. Project should be given to which machine so that their work will be gone in a very efficient machine optimum manner. See, it is written over a factory to optimize the production schedules and the minimize the idle time. Yes, the project person has to ensure that the idle time should be as much as less as it can be so that the project machine working in an effective manner. The next point, the fifth point, healthcare department. Yes, nowadays the assignment problem is done by the healthcare department, like the doctors, assigning doctors and nurses shifts in the hospital. Have you heard about like morning shift, a different doctor is there, and in the evening shift, different doctors are assigned. Ensure that adequate coverage should be given and their labor cost. See, remember, labor cost should be as minimum as possible. Imagine one doctor is working from morning 8 a.m. to next day 8 a.m. Right? It will be possible for them? No. You have to plan your shifts properly, and this planning will be done by you as a quantitative manager who is expert in the assignment problem. You have to plan your assignment in that way. Right? In the conclusion what we have done up, that this assignment problem can be done in the different ways. You have to use your mind effectively and efficiently. Thank you so much for today's session. Bye-bye. Now we are coming to the practical approach of assignment problems, right? This is one question and the practical we will do up. Like we have given, suppose we have given the three tasks. We have given three tasks, J1, J2, J3. And we have given a three workers, that's a P1, P2, P3. Now it's your work being a quantitative manager and being good in the assignment problems. Apply all the steps of assignments and assign your project work to the greater task so that your cost will be come up, right? The cost matrix is given you as follows, where the entity in the ith row, that is ith row, and the jth column represents the cost of assignment, that is the P1 when due for the J1 work. That's, see, remember it is J1, J2 is a task. This is given to you the task of doing the work. This is the task, right? And this is what you have given, the person who have to do this task, the persons, allocating person. Now, you have to find out which person should be given which task so that their assignment or their cost will be come up. Here it is given as a layman, what you will decide. You tell me. The P1, you will like to give the person 1 a task which is the least cost, right? The P1 doing this J1 work in 10 rupees per unit, say example. This is 20 units, and P1 doing the job task of J3 in 30. What you will assign as per you? Definitely you will assign the P1, the J1, right? And the cost of that is 10. You will do this only, right? Now coming up to the P2, the person 2. As per you, the person 2 will be given which task? Definitely this one, because it is a minimum cost. So as per you, you will assign person 2, the job 2, that's again a cost of 10, right? Coming up with the third person will be given which task? The lower of these, that is again 20. That means person 3 will be given the job 3, that is a task 3, and that cost will be 20. That means the total cost for doing all these tasks will be 20, 30, 40. That's your total cost. And you want to check out, this is as per the layman you have calculated it, because you have seen it like which one will be do the best task, which is having the less cost, right? But now you have not using your layman language or layman knowledge. Now you have to use the assignment technique or assignment problem given by the Hungarian concepts, and we have given all the algorithm steps in the session only. Now applying all these steps one by one, and we have to find out whether our answer is getting in a proper way or not, right? And we are getting the same answer of 40 or not. Let's check whether we are getting the same 40 or not, right? So when we apply all the steps in a proper way, your first step is row reduction, right? Selecting the row cost, minimum cost from each row, subtract from all the row elements, right? So in the first step, the first lowest cost in the first row is 10. Subtract it, take the pen paper and start doing it. This is the lowest one, 10. Subtract the 10 from the first row. You will get the answer of 0, 10, 20, right? How you are getting 0, 10, 20? Subtract it. From this, if we subtract 10 minus 10, 0, 20 minus 10, that is 10, and 30 minus 10, that is 20. Getting you this answer, right? Same with the second row. Check the second row. 20, 10 and 40, lowest of this is 10. Subtract 10 from all the cells. 20 minus 10, 10 minus 10 and 40 minus 10. Your answer will be 10, 0, 30. Right? Same with the third row. 50, 30, 20. Smallest is 20. Subtract this 20 from each row. 50 minus 20, 30 minus 20 and 20 minus 20. Your answer will be 30, 10 and 0. Right? This is the step number 1, that's a row reduction. Now you have to apply with the step number 2, column reduction. Select the smallest from each column and subtract it, right? The smallest from this is 0. Subtract 0 minus 0, 10 minus 0 and 30 minus 0. Your answer will be same, 0, 10, 30. Check the answer. Is it same? Is it same? Right. Okay. Now coming up to the next point. From this is your step number 1. Remember, this is your step number 1, row reduction. Step 1, row reduction. Right? Now column reduction, you are moving to the step number 2, that's a column reduction. You have to remember this, which step you are using it, right? Okay. Now for the column reduction, again, step from the smallest from this is 0, 10 minus 0, 0 minus 0 and the last 10 minus 0. Getting the same in this as the smallest is 0. So the step 1 and 2 have the same matrix over here in the column reduction. Now what we have to do, the third step is selecting the rows and columns having the maximum 0 and draw the minimum number of lines covering all the zeros, right? Cover all the zeros with the minimum number of lines. That means you have to make the lines as much as less we can, like number of lines can be 1, 2 or 3, but you have to remember this, covering all the zeros. See in this example what we have done, make this lines, because in each rows and columns we have 1 zeros. So either we can make in this way or we can make in that way also. Will there make be any difference? I think so there will be no difference of that. Like for example, ma'am, in this question, I can do in that way 0, 10, 20 and the second one is 10, 0, 30 and your third one is 30, 10, 0. 30, 10, 0. Okay, I make it more comfortable for you, 30. Right, 30, 10, 0. Ma'am, you have drawn this way lines. I can do in this way, this, this. Yes, you can do it. That doesn't make a matter. Either you can draw in a vertical way or horizontal way. That doesn't matter. The main point is number of lines to be minimum. The main point is your lines should be minimum as much as you can and covering all the zeros. That is the main point. Minimum number of lines and covering all the zeros, right? Now in this matrix what you have seen? You have seen that all the lines been done up and the total number of lines is 1, 2, 3. The lines are 3 and the matrix is also of 3 by 3. This matrix will be called of 3 by 3. Why 3 by 3? 3 columns and 3 rows. That means the number of lines is equals to 3 and the matrix is also of 3. That is same. Once it is same, that means no adjustment is required. This is your optimum answer. Now select and assign 1 zeros to 1 project, right? Now you have to assign 1 zero to 1 project. Like in this case, what I have done, I have assigned the project 1 to the job 1, that's a task 1. Person 2 will be given a job 2, task 2, and person 3 will be given a job 3, that's a task 3. And your total answer is 40. See the scenario. The result are same. That means as a layman you use the project. But as well as you will also done this question with using a proper algorithm method and your answers are same. That means you can easily use the method properly and you getting the answer in a proper manner. Hope it is clear. Now we have done with the practical approaches. This is a basic question when there is no adjustment. But there can be an adjustment and there can be a topic which we have discussed, that the balance and unbalanced, right? Now coming to the next one, practical number 2. Take the pen and paper, calculator with you. Even there is no need to take the calculator. The digits are so small and so easily can be calculated from your mind. So don't use the calculator, use your mind and start doing the question. Now it's your work to do it, hurry up. This is the question. Again, what's the question is practical approaches. You have given a 3 task and the 3 resource person, you can say it, or 3 subjects are there. Which teacher should be, or you can use it the word teacher, right? 3 teachers are there, teacher 1, 2 and 3, and these are the subjects, say example. Now which teacher should be given which subject, so that the number of time, this is the time, this is time, is as much as less as you can. So start using it as per you, which subject will be given to which teacher, so that your answer will be in that way. Start doing it and tell me the answer. Again same, the step number 1. What will be the step number 1? Row reduction, right? You like to do it by yourself? Hurry up, do it by yourself. Again I have given the solution, but you have to do by yourself. The first step is row reduction. Select the one, the first one is 1, right? Then the answer will be subtracted. 4 minus 1, 1 minus 1 and 3 minus 1, right? In this, the smallest one is again 0, 2 minus 0, 0 minus 0 and 5 minus 0, right? The smallest in this is again 2 or 2, that's the same thing. 3 minus 2, 2 minus 2 and 2 minus 2. Hope you're getting it. Ma'am, we have to show this. It's up to you. You can show it or do it in your mind. Find the figure. The main important is find the figure. Okay. So answer will be, the first point is 302, 205 and 100. This is your step number 1. Now you have to go to the second step, that's a column reduction. Again select the column, smallest element from this is 1, right? The smallest of this. Now do it in that way only. 3, 3, minus 1, 2 minus 1 and 1 minus 1, right? Subtract it. Same, the smallest of this is again 0 only. That means 0 minus 0, 0 minus 0, 0 minus 0. The smallest of this is 0, 2 minus 0, 5 minus 0 and 0 minus 0, right? The main thing is first row, second column and find out the solution. Hope you are able to do up this, and your solution will be, after subtracting this, you will find this way. Subtract the column minimum and your answer in this way. Hope you get this also. Now the step number 3. Select the maximum zeros and your number of lines will be as much as less we can. So I am doing this with you only. See, in this row how many zeros are there? 1. 1 0. How many zeros are there? 3. 1 0, 3 0, only 1 0. That means make a line which cover all the zeros. Shall I make the line like this? All the zeros being covered? Right. Make a line over this, all the zero being covered? Yes. With 2 lines only, number of lines here is only 2, right? And the matrix over here is 3, T1, 2, 3. That means these are not equal. Once they are not equal, that means this question is of adjustment. Now you have to do the adjustment. And how we do the adjustment? Select the uncovered one, like from these and from this. Select from the uncovered one the smallest. Which one is smallest from this is 1. Subtract from the uncovered one and from the intersecting point. Where is the intersecting point? This one, where the 2 lines are cutting together. This and this. This is your intersecting point. Add in the intersecting point. Hope you are able to do up. Shall I show you how you will do it? Like here matrix, right? And what about the uncovered lines? No need to do anything in that. Say 2 minus 1, then it will be 1. 0 remains 0. 2 minus 1, 1. 1 minus 1, 0. This 0 remains 0. This 5 become 4, 5 minus 1. This 0 remains again 0. This is the intersecting point. So that means you have to add in the intersection point. 0 plus 1, that will be 1. And 0 remains this 0. Right? This is called as an adjustment. Now what we have to do in the adjustment? Again we have to make the lines, and remember the lines should be as much less as we can and covering all the zeros. Shall we make the lines now? This contain only 1 0, 2 0, 2 0. This having 2 0, 2 0, 1 0. So make the lines covering maximum zeros. This can be done of covering maximum zeros. Now this can be done of covering maximum zeros. And this is one who is covering 0. Now the number of lines over here is 3 lines and the matrix is again of 3. So after adjustment, your matrix and lines are equal. That means this is your optimum solution. Now from this optimum solution, what we have to do? We have to select the one giving you the maximum coverage. Like which one you will select, which one will give you maximum zeros or can cover up. Like for example, in this one, you were selecting this 0. Okay. Like from this task number 1 of this teacher, you have given the subject 2. T1 is given the subject 2. Now this cannot be assigned. Right? Remember, this cannot be assigned. Now you have to assign the task number 2 with the subject number 1. That means, say example, this. Now this cannot be assigned up. This will be cancelled. Now the teacher 3 will be given which task? The pending one. That's only this one. That means S3. That means the task 3 or the teacher 3 will be given the subject 3. Hope you're getting it. And selecting all these values from the smallest matrix, from your initial matrix, and assign the problem. Right? Showing it again with all these figures to you. This is your subtracting column 1. Now have a look on the second one. Lines. We have make 2 lines. Like in the 2 lines only we done up. The uncovered cell is your 2, 1, 2, 5. Select from the uncovered cells and subtract it and add to the intersection point. Your result will be the next slide. See this one. 1, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1 and 1, 4, 0. Now again you have to make the lines. Now covering all the zeros. See, now the lines will be over here will be 3 lines. And the matrix is also of 3. Right? This we have done up. That means no adjustment is there. Now assign the project as much as you can. Now you have assigned it and covering it to the minimum number of person as much as you can. Now on the next slide, optimum solution. They are given task 1 to worker 2, task 1 to worker 2, teacher 2 or task 2 to the worker 1 and task 3 to worker 3. So that your cost is 1 plus 2 plus 2 is equals to 5. How this 5 come up? I am showing you once again so that you've been good in that. Coming up to the first matrix, when this question started up, this question, we have given the task 1, right, to which worker? I have discussed right now, T1 to W2, T2 to W1, right, task 1 to worker 2, task 2 to worker 1 and T3 to worker 3. Coming over here, T1, what we have done? Task 1 to worker 1, right, this way, task 2 to worker 2, right, and task 3 to worker 3. We have given in this way, so assign them and you will get the answer, right, and your answer is, as we have just discussed, your answer will be 1 plus 2 to 5, that is the total will be 5. This is the way we have done 2 questions, one is without adjustment and second is with adjustment, right. Now coming up to the next case study, yeah, this is a very important question. Now this is a homework for you, write down, we have 4 professor over here and we have given a 4 subjects. The answer is, first of all point we have to check. What we have to check? The question is of balanced. Yes, this question is of balance. Why? There are 4 professor over here and the 4 subjects are there. So that means 4 equals to 4. The question is of balance. Right? Now it is given, the professor 1 is given a task of subject 1, he was taking 2 hours. Professor 2 is doing the same task, will be taking a 10 hours. Professor 1 is given a subject 3, 9 hours. It was taking us 7 hours. Different professors are taking the different subjects and the different tenure time is given to them. Now, as being you a quantitative manager, you have to use the assignment problem and do this question in a very good manner, and you have to tell me which professor should be given which subject. Hope you are able to do that question. In the next class, if you are not able to do up, I will show you the answer. But now I am not showing you the answer, right? You have to do this question. Note down again. I am giving you a time for 2 minutes. Just note down this question. This is 2, 10, 9, 7, 15, 4, 14 and 8. And this is 13, 14, 16, 11, 3, 15, 13 and 8. This is the practical question for your homework and you have to do it. And it's a very important case study, right? Hope it is done. Chalo ji. Coming up to the next point, ma'am, have you told up the question is of not balance. Then what we have to do? Yes, you have to do different adjustments. It can be possible that rows and columns are not equal. Then definitely you have to make it balanced. And for the balance, you have to create a dummy. Yes, in this question also, the same as we done in the transportation, we have to create a dummy. When the rows are not equal to column, right? Then we have to create a dummy. I'm showing with the practical example to you. Have a look. This is one question. Note down over here. We have given 2 person, P1, P2. And we have given J task, J1, J2, J3. Here the rows are 2 and the columns are 3. That means it is not a balanced assignment. Then what we have to do? Again, tell me what we have to do. We have to create a P3 as a dummy and assign them as a cost 0, 0. Done. Now here the person will be 3 and the job is 3. Ma'am, what is the reason of behind creating this dummy? To make a balance. When a box is balanced, then only you are able to do your work in a proper way. So this is just important to make your balanced project so that the item can be concluded in a proper way. But remember, we have taken it as a 0. If something is given, say example 5 is given, 5 multiplied by 0, the answer will be 0 because it is a dummy one. Dummy one, that means there is no existence. That's why I have taken the value as 0. Right? This we have created, what is this called as? This is called as dummy row. We have created one dummy row to make the matrix balance, right? This is dummy row matrix. Now coming up to the second question can be possible in this way, see. Now we have given a 3-person P1, P2, P3, but the task is only J1 and J2. Hope your mind is get well. Now this is 3, how it can be 2? We have to create one dummy column. Yes, here we have to create J3 and the cost for them will be again 0, 0. Now it is balanced because it is also 3 and this is also 3. So that means in this question we have created one dummy column. You have to make a balance whether you have to go for the dummy rows or the column. Once your proper matrix is done up, then you start your assignment problem of the different steps. Now step 1 is row reduction, column reduction. Then making a zeros as much as you can, and number of lines should be minimum, or the adjustment can be done up till all the number of lines is equals to matrix. And once you are getting the steps like all the lines are equal to matrix, then your assignment problem will be done up. The one and the most important mistake done by you students is you never check the question is balanced or not and you started doing it. So don't do this one mistake. That means check whether the question is balanced or not. Second mistake you used to do, you started doing column matrix first of all. No. First you have to follow the row reduction, then only column reduction. Otherwise there will be a big mistake and answer will be wrong. So this way you have to follow the steps. Hope it's all done. First we have to check the balance and balance. If it is balanced, then the normal step. Unbalanced, then create a dummy rows and columns. And this is the way of assigning the task to the right person, and efficiently we will getting the right answer. Right? If you have any problem, you can ask me up. Otherwise, thank you for today's session. Bye bye. Take care.